I got my trusted stand. Yeah. Alright, the day has come for this. This is the 17-tooth sprocket. I finally pulled the trigger on getting this. Oh yeah, I got a new shifter too. This is for the CRF 50. It actually fits. Right here, there's like just enough clearance for me to actually get this to click up and actually to click down. The other one kind of like comes out, so this one kind of sits a little bit more inward. But as long as I got the nice throws, it's alright. I gotta get used to it though, because the other one was a little bit closer. This one fits a little bit out when I have my foot up, but it's just enough for me to click up and click down. I don't have to like really bang on it. So the shifter really does make a big difference in shifting. First thing you got to do is take these two bolts off. I believe they're 8mm, but loosen this nut and your two adjusters. But we're going to do that one by one. So here we go. It's actually two of these, and it uses a 8mm socket. I can use this with my hand. Then take this off. You could just do this too because you're holding the other side. Just loosen that up. You don't have to take it all the way off unless you want to, because right now is the best time to take the wheel off to do anything that you need to do, because it is a pain to get this back on. So if you're going to paint your rims or whatever, best time to also do that in tandem with doing this, or anything with brakes, or any kind of maintenance or whatever you need to do. It's best to do it now because it is a pain to get this off. A lot easier. Then I'm going to do the other side. Take the locking nut off. Not off, but break it just enough so that you can move this right here in and out, because you're gonna need to do that. Alright, now we loosen the tension on this, and this is just pretty much sagging down. Alright, it is now time to take this off. Now, as you can see, it's still on there. What I am going to do is take the master link off of the chain, which I think is back there somewhere. I'm going to be replacing this chain, and I don't want to go through the hassle of having to take this whole wheel off or anything like that. What I'm going to do is just remove the master link, and to do that, you hold the top piece like this, and then you grab the end, this pin right here, this first pin, and then you grab the end, and then it snaps that way. Alright, I needed two hands for that, but as you can see, it pops off like that. It's actually pretty okay condition. And then you take this off. Slide that off. Then you can slide this whole pin off. Hopefully I can get it with my hand. Oh, I can. And then that's the pin. So that's actually one link. This is how it looks. This is how your chain will have to sit. Although I'm changing this, but that's just how it looks. You just take that off, slide it through. It's kind of hard doing it with one hand, but I'm gonna try. Oh no, that's definitely not working with one hand. Yeah, you kind of get the idea. You just want to take this off. Now, if you want to find out how long this is or how many links you need, there's two ways you can actually do this. You can start with this method, which is you start with this empty one right here as 1. Then you do 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, all the way until you get to the last end. This will be your last number, and then when you stop, for instance, if this is 54 is your last link, this right here will be 1. Now, links don't end in odd numbers, so if this is 54, this will now be 1 from this one. So this right here is 1 link now, at the end rather, because this is where your master link is going to be. Your master link is pretty much what completes the number of the chain. So that's one method. Now the other method is kind of not confusing, which is the same one, but instead of going 2 all the way across, you just pretty much count each faceplate as 1. And then when you get to the last one, like say for instance is 53 or whatever, you multiply that by 2, and that's the number that you have of these faceplates, and then you add another 2 to it for this last link. I was kind of confused about how to actually count these the first time I tried to get the chain, but I'm going to give you guys like a cheat sheet. This stock chain right here is 108. You cannot use this for the 17 tooth. Every time you increase the size of the front sprocket or any sprocket, the chain stretches. So I had to get another chain. Actually, the chain is too big. I kind of wanted to do that because then I can cut it or whatever, so I got it a little bit too big. I believe I got a 1/16 chain to put on the 17 tooth. So no, 1/16, yeah, 1/16 chain links. So I have to break that down to possibly 112. So 112 might actually work, and we're going to find out right now. Alright, let's start taking this off. And this right here is, that's 11. I believe it is a 10. Let's see, 10 millimeter works? Yep, 10 millimeter works. So we're going to take these 2 bolts off. Alright, those 2 bolts are out. The next thing you want to do is turn this, and then it'll slide right off that spindle. Use my left hand. I have another one of these, the same thing with the bolts. I have another bolt, and then this just slides right off, and this is the 14 tooth sprocket. And to now compare them, this is the 14 tooth and this is the new 17 tooth sprocket. As you can see, it is way bigger. I believe this is the biggest sprocket that you can put on this application, or you might have to grind the cover or whatever, I'm not sure, but this is the biggest, I believe, that you could put on there. Place it on there for the time being, like so. Then I'm going to put the new clip on and the new bolts on. Alright, we have successfully put on our 17 tooth, but we are not done yet. We have to put the new chain on and also break the new chain to fit. Right, the chain's all laid out, and as you can see, we have to break this link right here and remove, I believe, 4 of these, and that's pretty much how it's going to connect right there. So you got to remove this right here. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is break the chain so that we'll have enough chain that we need, because it's better to get it too long than too short, because then you would have to got another chain. So I went with the 1/16, so I got to shorten it down to around 110-ish, pretty much adding 2 more links, I believe, to the already stock chain. But I'm not going to add any links or anything. I'm just going to cut this 1/16 chain that I got with the chain breaker. You can pick this up at Harbor Freight for about 15 bucks, and this is the heavy duty chain breaker. because I'm going to be breaking the heavy duty chain also. You might can get away with any chain breaker, but since I saw they had this one, I just went and got this. And this is for motorcycles and bicycles. Alright, the object of using this tool is you put the link in here. This pin is going to push out the rivet that's already in the chain. So pretty much this, you set it, say that my finger is the chain. I'm not going to do it too much because I'm not trying to have this go through my hand. So then once it's pressed down, then you start with the other one to put pressure towards moving the pin, and then you push it down some more, put pressure down on the pin, and it's eventually going to start popping out the bottom. So let's try that. Alright, I already marked out how much I gotta take off. So pretty much I just gotta take, let's see, take this pin right here out. So I'm gonna get my tool. So I have to do it like this. Put it on the rivet, like so. Then I adjust it while holding it, while pressing on that pin, or trying to get the pin on there. This can actually pop out. And I finally got that out. So now I'm gonna start putting this back under here. Wow. And also this has to be in neutral, because if this wasn't in neutral, you will have to put it in neutral or hold the clutch while you do this, which isn't really good. Alright, it fits, as you can see. We shorten it down. Now I gotta put the new master link in, and we are done setting the chain up. So how you want to do this is thread it backwards here. I don't want this wheel or anything to move. Then you put this plate here on, slide it in there like that. Then you put the clip. Now with the clip, you want it to face the end part right here to face that way. You don't want it to face this way, because if it gets snagged on anything, it's going to come off. So to have this more secure, you want it to point towards the way that the chain actually moves. So then you just pop that on like that. Pliers. And you just snap it back into place. Like that. You even get a click. Now we are done with assembling both sides. Now all we have to do is pretty much tighten everything back up, put the cover on. I'm going to put the cover on last actually, then clean everything up, and that's pretty much it for the install. Alright, now what you want to do is clean the chain. I got a little bit of brake cleaner here. Just going to spray that to clean all the grime off. And I'm going to top it off with some of this chain and cable lube, and it'll be good to go. Chose to do this last so that I can make sure that these wires right here touching this sprocket in any way, because those wires will get cut and they will short. So if you find that your indicator, like say for instance you're in third gear and it flickers to second, chances are your second gear wire is shortening to ground, or it's shortening with shortening with your third, whichever the case is. There's a short, so that means one of those wires probably got cut. That's if you're having trouble with that. But yeah, it's pretty much not shiny clean, but it works. We're gonna put this back on. Let's get that started a little bit. Alright, that is the end of installing it. Got the cover back on. Everything. Let's see the chain. Got a little bit of slack in it. That's pretty good. Wheel spins pretty well. Alright. We're gonna test this out. So I'll have a follow-up video on this. A 110 chain. So this chain is about 110 plus the 2 would be about a 112, something like that. So this is the rest of the 16 links that I used. But just to be sure, I would get a longer chain. I don't know because I've heard that some Chinese bikes are not the same. They're not really good with consistency, but this is a 112 chain that I'm using with the 17 front sprocket. I got this tool. This was 14 bucks at Harbor Freight. If you're going to be working on bikes, definitely a tool that you want just to keep around. It's not that expensive. You probably can get it cheaper. I saw one on Amazon for I think 10 bucks. And that was a heavy duty one too. So this is a heavy duty one that I paid 14 bucks for it locally. But overall, this is the job done. Gotta test this baby out. So that's me and the Vader 125cc. Yashiroku out.